Today we are installing a VRSF Catless Downpipe on a 2017 BMW M240i. Now this job isn't too hard. I'd probably rate it a 3 out of 10. It was fairly easy, it's just time consuming. Some of the tools that you will need to get started is some rhino ramps or something equivalent of that, some jack stands, a jack of course, or a lift if you're one of those lucky people. You'll need a metric driver set and an E-bit set with definitely the E10 and E12 in it. You'll need an O2 socket removal tool, screwdriver hook tool, and just some general other tools like a light. Time required would probably be about an hour if you have a lift, and it took us about an hour and a half to 2 hours just doing it on jack stands. Alright, first thing to do is get your car up in the air on the lift, or go ahead and jack it up pretty high. I'd say a foot and a half off the ground. Make sure you get some good jack stands underneath it. Then you're going to want to remove the 22 small bolts that are holding on your underbody tray. Once you have them removed, you can carefully just slide that under tray right out of your way. Now go ahead and pop your hood and remove your engine cover from the top of your B58 engine. Towards the back left of it, you will see a black and gray plug. These are your O2 sensor wires. You can remove both of them by pressing in the connectors and leave them completely unattached and out of the way, so that way when the downpipe comes out, you can slide them right off. I like to make sure that all of your bolts and everything that you're going to spin is completely lubricated with some PB Blaster or something like that to make it easier to come off. Now you'll see this bracket right here, and it's just literally an exhaust hanger bracket. I believe it actually says it right on it. There's 2 torque picks. You just remove those right there. It'll gain you some more play, and just kind of let the back half of your exhaust just hang down. It's not going to hurt anything. And then that mid pipe right there also connects to your downpipe that you're going to be removing. You can just loosen that up pretty well, and you'll be able just to grab the downpipe and slide it right out of the way from the mid pipe. Now, with the tire off, you can go ahead and get your extension and your socket in there and get the Vband clamp for the turbo off. It's the turbo to downpipe Vband clamp. It's just one bolt and nut combo. I had to do some weird work with a couple extensions to reach in there and grab it. I finally got to it. It's on there pretty tight, so you're gonna have to put a lot of force on trying to get it off, and then use that hook to try to separate the clamps. Now, looking up through the downpipe from underneath your car, there are 2 bolts that hold the downpipe to the engine block. These are 13 millimeters. You gotta take both of them out and save them because you'll be using them to mount out with the next downpipe. They're pretty hard to get to. You just gotta make it work with what you have and squeeze your fingers in there and get to it. Now, with both of those bolts completely taken out, you should be able to pop the downpipe to the side and wiggle it out. Now, here is a look at the 2 downpipes side by side. You can see the VRSF is just a tiny bit smaller, and of course there's no cat inside of it. You're going to want to remove both these O2 sensors and install it into your new one. Now, putting the downpipe back in is actually fairly easy. It was not hard at all. Just go ahead and slide it up in there and get it close to your turbo again. You're going to want to make sure that your O2 sensors are pushed up there so you can grab them from the top, or go ahead and have a buddy grab them from the top. Once you get that up there, you're going to want to make sure your 2 bolts are just kind of loosened up or easily put on. Then you're going to want to wiggle on the Vband clamp. Don't tighten anything down yet. Push the bottom of the downpipe into the exhaust, and then once you get everything on, you can go ahead and start tightening everything down. Should be fairly easy to get everything tightened back down. Make sure your downpipe is flat and flush up against your turbo, or you're going to have some exhaust issues and has some leak coming out. Then once you get all that put back together, you're just going to put your underbody shield back on, zip those 22 bolts in, make sure you plug in your O2 sensors, put your engine cover back on, lower your car back down, and you should be good to go.